What is going on, guys? It's Quinn, and today we're going to be breaking down the top 10 NFL running backs right now. Forward in the video, I want to teach you guys how to subscribe, because it doesn't seem like you know how. To subscribe, you hit the red button that says subscribe, and you turn it gray, and it's also going to say subscribed. That's how you know you're subscribed. Also, hit the post notification bell, set it to all. Follow me on my Instagram, at Quinn_Helfrich, where I post other NFL news and update you guys on new videos. Like the video, leave a comment, let me know what your favorite part was, and tell me some video ideas in the comments below. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. At number 10, we have David Montgomery. The Chicago Bears running back finished top 5 in yards last season with 1,070. That's tied for 5th in the NFL on 247 attempts, 4th in the NFL. He also had 8 touchdowns, which is tied for 15th, and he averaged 4.3 yards per carry, which is 29th in the NFL. And this is only his second year in the league. He was basically the only offense the Chicago Bears had on the short playoff run. At number 9, we have Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke, the Dallas Cowboys running back, finished with just shy of 1,000 yards last season with 979, 11th in the NFL, off of 244 carries, 5th in the NFL. He also had 4 yards per carry, which is 41st in the NFL, and 6 touchdowns, tied for 23rd. He was the main source of offense for most of the season, as Dak Prescott, their quarterback, was injured. At number 8, we have the rookie running back Jonathan Taylor, who finished 3rd in the NFL with 1,169 yards on 232 carries, 8th in the NFL with 5 yards per carry, 10th in the NFL and 11 touchdowns, which is tied for 7th in the NFL. He's only a rookie, guys. Only a rookie. He's going to get better. He has not reached his full potential yet. And he will get better and better and better. And could be contending for an MVP, although running backs normally don't win them. So Offensive Player of the Year very soon. At number 7, we have the Alabama product, Josh Jacobs. The Oakland Raiders running back finished with 1,065 yards, good for 8th in the NFL, on 273 carries, 3rd in the NFL. He averaged 3.9 yards per carry, and he had 12 touchdowns, 4th in the NFL. He only played 15 games, but for those 15 games, he carried this team on his back most of the time. If they could get a little bit more offense around him, he could propel his team to be a playoff team. Now, he will be struggling with carries next season, as he will be splitting time between him and Kenyon Drake. We're not really sure how that'll work, but I'm assuming he's probably going to get the majority of the work, but it's not going to be like he'll get all the snaps. At number 6, we have the newly re-signed Green Bay Packers running back, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones rushed for 1,104 rushing yards, good for 4th in the NFL, on 201 attempts, that's good for 10th, and he averaged 5.5 yards per carry, 5th in the NFL. He also had 9 touchdowns, tied for 11th. Aaron will be an excellent running back for years to come with the Green Bay Packers, and he is poised to lead his team to a Super Bowl. Now, his stats could be even better, but he has superstar and MVP quarterback Aaron Rodgers. So it's really hard when you have a star running back and an MVP quarterback. So that's why his stats may not be good, but I have to say 4th in rushing yards, 10th attempts, and 5.5 yards a run, that's pretty good. At number 5, we have a man who has had back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons, 1,067 this year, 7th in the NFL, on 190 carries, 14th in the NFL, and he averaged 5.6 yards per run. That's 4th in the NFL. He also added 12 touchdowns, which is tied for 4th in the NFL. We have the Cleveland Browns running back, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is part of a two-headed monster in Cleveland's backfield, which features him and Kareem Hunt, who's another star running back who unfortunately didn't make this list. He's part of a high-powered, explosive offense, which features an explosive passing attack with quarterback Baker Mayfield, wide receivers Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr., and tight end Austin Hooper. And that passing attack's going to get even better as Baker Mayfield develops. Nick Chubb stats will probably go down, but I don't really think by that much. He's going to continue to grind the ball, pound away, and lead this team to a Super Bowl. Up next, at number 4, we have the FSU product, Dalvin Cook, who is now with the Minnesota Vikings. Dalvin Cook finished 2nd in almost every statistical category last season. He was 2nd with 312 attempts, 2nd in yards with 1,557, and 2nd in touchdowns with 16. And he basically carried this offense besides wide receiver Justin Jefferson. Basically, this team will get better and will possibly contend for a playoff spot if Cook plays like this next year. Just breaking into the top 3, at number 3 we have Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara did not finish with 1,000 rushing yards last season. He only finished with 932, 14th in the NFL. But that doesn't matter when you're able to score 6 touchdowns in one game. A total of 16 touchdowns on the year, tied for 2nd. He also had 187 attempts and 5.0 yards per carry on an average. And those stats are going to get even better next year as Drew Brees has retired, so it's either going to be Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill as the starting quarterback, but it doesn't matter because they're just going to run the ball because they have a Clydesdale, a stallion in the backfield, and Alvin Kamara who's going to run it up the gut, and he's just going to score touchdowns, get tons of yards, and make all sorts of highlight reels because he's just that good. At number 2, we have King Henry. Derrick Henry, the Tennessee Titans running back, finished 1st in basically every statistical category last year, except for yards per carry, which he finished 6th in with 5.4 on the average. Finished 1st in attempts, he finished 1st in yards, finished 1st in touchdowns. He had 17 touchdowns, over 2,000 yards, and he also had 378 attempts. He is the back-to-back rushing champion. He's going to continue stiff-arming guys like Josh Norman, and he's going to continue to score touchdowns. He's going to continue to be a beast. At number 1, we have the Carolina Panthers running back Christian McCaffrey. Although only playing 3 games last season due to injury, he had over 200 yards. He had 59 attempts and 5 touchdowns. That's nowhere on stats at all in the top 50. But let's look at last year and the year before and what he did. Last year, he had over 1,300 yards. And he had over 1,000 receiving yards. He's a dual threat running back who's going to continue to get better and better as he's a young player. His team is getting better around him. He could contest for an MVP even though he's not a quarterback. Number 1, Christian McCaffrey. Well, that's the end of the video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, click the thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments below or on my Instagram at Quinn_Helfrich what you think. Also, let me know what type of videos you guys want to see in the future. Just put them in the comments. I'll read them and maybe I'll choose them. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Quinn Helfrich, and I'll see you real soon.